You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
Anyway, hi, I'm Reverend Bonnie. Great to see you here today. So great to see all of you here today, and some new faces and some really old faces. It's going to be a wonderful Sunday. We're really looking forward to spending time with you. Yes, we are. Hallelujah and amen over there. You got it, girl. You got it. You got it. Yay! Woo! And so thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our Cathedral of Kindness. And I'm going to pass the word over to Miss Lonnie here, our board president.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I love the enthusiasm.
Yes.
Because, you know, we always practice that we can flex and that we can go with the flow. How's that working for you, Bonnie?
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that in the sermon, maybe, if I have a sermon. I'm not sure, actually, but we'll talk a little bit about what happened. So, anyway.
Just remember, Plan B can be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we're just so happy that you joined us this morning. Extra special shout out to our beautiful Jackie.
John is a new sax player?
Yes, a new sax player.
John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
And Chris.
And Chris, yay. Woo, 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 woo.
And I could keep going, but you said keep it short. So welcome and enjoy.
Welcome. Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you so much. Bill is going to come up, and Susie, would you like to come up? And Barb, I think maybe you should come up too. Yeah, I don't know why, but I think Barb should come up too. Yeah. So, Barb has served in the office for 16 plus years, and Barb is moving on to other pastures. She is, that sounds a little dire, doesn't it? Barb is finding other work that is really suitable to her, and she's been such a great friend to VCSL, but she's taking another job, and she's not going to be with us on Saturdays anymore. But we hope, and we're not supposed to beg in religious science, we do beg that she continues to show up on Sundays and is a part of this community as a devoted community member. So let's first of all give a round of applause for Barb. Say thank you. Yeah. That's so sweet. I know, the vapors, yeah. So, you know, Barb is also the original church lady. We'll always have Barb because she's up there, right behind Dr. King and Moses, right next to the Dalai Lama and the Sikh singer Sanatam Kaur. That's Barb, dressed as a church lady. But also we have not a parting gift, but a we love you gift, because you're not parting. You're coming back. I'm insisting on it. Okay, all right, so this is for you, and also one of the flower bouquets is for you as well. But the cards that go with the flowers are in there, so sure. My pleasure, Barb. We love you. Okay. Oops, sorry.
So just taking a deep, deep breath into the truth of your being, into that effervescent, Barbie-like joy within your heart. That joy that is pure spirit, pure love, pure kindness, that just bubbles over, and allowing that love of pure spirit to infuse today and every day with all that is needed to bring peace within and peace to the world, all that is needed to bring love within and love to the world, knowing absolutely that today is the day and joy abounds. And I know that this is true for each and every person here, each and every person listening to this recording. Love, joy, and peace bubbles over. And knowing that that is the truth, I happily, gratefully, and humbly release this word into the law of love, knowing that today is already ordained as perfect. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. And in this space of oneness, in this space of deep contemplation, let us listen to the words of our sacred reading.
From As You Like It by William Shakespeare. The speaker is the good Duke Senior, who with his companions has been exiled to the forest of Arden by his evil brother, the usurper Duke, who has taken over in the city. And therein you see the spiritual situation of this play. The Duke Senior speaks. Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when it beats and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Good in everything. Sweet are the uses of adversity. These churlish winds are not the enemy, they are counselors to feelingly persuade us what I am. And so let us know the I am presence. The I am presence is another name for the divine, for love, for the undivided nature of being, for the good that is in everything, for the good that is in each of us. And as we sing together, as we remember, we sing, I am remembering who I am. We remember our true divine nature. And since there is only one being by the name of love that inhabits the entire cosmos, as we remember for ourselves, we remember for everything.
Morning, Ventura CSL. I love you. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. And why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Ooh, just like me, they long to be close to you. Oh yeah. On the day that you were born, angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. Yes, they did. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and sunlight in your eyes like they do. They do. That is why everyone in town follow you all around. Ooh, just like me. They long to be close to you. John. John Webb. On the day that you were born, angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. Yes, they did. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and sunlight in your eyes like they do. Just like me. They long to be close to you. I love you, God. I love you. You're so good to me. You are the good that flows through me. I want to be so close to you. I gotta be just close to you. The God in you, bring out the God in me, just like me. They long to be close to you. Chris, want to give you a chance. You're beautiful, Chris. And beautiful John. Ooh, yeah. On the day that you were born, angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie Simone, and all. Oh, look at that. Okay, so so I have a little story about the message I was going to do today. So if those of you saw the posting on Facebook or on the newsletter, we were going to have Jennifer Luce come and speak about this miracle that happened in her life that looks an awful lot like a new baby, right? And it was a long process, and all kinds of stuff went on and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, everything turned out great, and she has that baby. Well, Jennifer is not feeling well today, and so she had to cancel at the very last minute. And, of course, the priority is the mommy taking care of her baby. And so I just said, yes, absolutely, we will manage without you. And the reason that's possible is that I've been doing this since the days of the covered wagons. Right? I am Granny Clampett, hello. So there you go. So I'm going to do my best, and we'll see what goes on here. Okay, so, it's funny that the name of the talk is It's a Miracle, right? Because when I first found out, I have a complicated, I don't want to make this talk all about me, but okay, right now it is. Have a complicated weekend this weekend, did the pet blessing. Went wonderful. We had a lot of animals here yesterday. It was so cool, really great. A lot of humans, a lot of animals. It was lovely. Nobody got hurt. The only person that peed on the floor was my animal. Not him, but my rat. But my big bunny came, and she had a little accident. So there was that. And yeah, when I woke up and I reached for my phone just to check my email real quick before I went into meditation, I saw that Jennifer wasn't able to come. I would recommend that when we have news that you don't really want to hear, my first response was not, "It's a miracle." It was something else that I won't necessarily elaborate on today. But anyway, I started thinking, what if it is a miracle? What if it is a miracle? What if the day that Jennifer does come to speak, and trust me, I'm holding her to it. I'm going to rope and hogtie that girl and bring her here so she can come and speak. But what if it is a miracle that the day that she's here, the exact person that needs to hear what Jennifer has to say is there that day? And what if on this day, the exact people that need to hear what I have to say are here today? We just never know. We never know. It's just about trusting God and trusting God, and trusting God and understanding that yes, we do our part, but God is just can be a trickster. I just heard about the trickster before I started today, and yeah, God can do a bunch of stuff. God can definitely do a bunch of stuff. So our purpose today is to realize that nothing happens outside of God. Even the things that we think are not miraculous, nothing happens outside of God. And I'm talking about bigger things than somebody canceling a time in the service. But in all things, we can always learn some spiritual truth in times of adversity. And we also have the capacity to find the potential for miracles in deeply personal challenges, but also global challenges as well. Everything contains the seeds of a miracle. So in terms of a reflection, just a reflection for us to be able to take this talk personally and apply it to our own lives, just take a moment and just ask yourself, is there a challenging situation in my life? You don't have to shout it out, but does anybody have a challenge going on in their life? Just a little raise. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dot raised her pinky. So in this church, we raise our pinkies if we're shy. We raise our whole hands if we're not. Okay, so if there's a challenging situation in your life, and just crack open for just a moment the possibility or the potential of a hidden miracle in that challenge. Just theoretically speaking, you don't have to believe that it applies to you in this moment, but just theoretically speaking, is there a possibility for a hidden miracle in your life? I would say the answer to that is yes. We may not be able to see it, but perhaps today is about willing to receive it, willing to see it, willing to trust and explore, to find that potential, that hidden miracle, that sweetness in adversity that is just tapping on your window wanting to come through. Okay? So, that's my drug of choice, by the way. Not that particular one, but I have an issue with Starbucks, and that they must put something in it because I want to go there every day, all the time. I had what would seem to be a non-miraculous situation in Starbucks. I'm not sure why I put that in there, but I have to, oh yeah, okay. So I was in Starbucks. It was right at the start of COVID, right when we were starting to wear masks, where people were recommending masks, but it wasn't mandatory yet. So I was in Starbucks, and I was standing on my spot 6 feet away from the counter, and the person in front of me at the counter was feeling very chaotic to me. He had very chaotic energy, and he was kind of sprawled all over the counter, and he was giving a lecture to the lucky barista about the dangers of all the sweeteners that Starbucks was offering. It would have been fascinating had I been interested and had I not wanted my caffeine so badly, but I could also tell that the barista was getting distressed by it too. So I thought I would help. And I attempted a fake cough. The guy turned around, started coughing on me in the midst of a pandemic, and then started yelling at me. Horrible things, but they were so horrible that they didn't make any sense to me. And I don't even know if I should share this, but he said something like, "You're such a bad person, you're so bad, I'm gonna go find where your mother lives and kill her." And it was so bizarre. Sorry, I whispered that because it was bad for those who couldn't hear. It was so bizarre that I just said, "You can't, my mother's dead." And then he said he was going to hurt my children, and I said, "I don't have any kids." So the poor guy kept trying to hurt me, and he kept coming up empty. And finally, the only thing that I said to him that was a little off-putting, and I knew I shouldn't have said it because I knew it would make him madder, but I couldn't resist. I just said, "Sir, you are Grumpy McGrumperson today, aren't you?" And with that, he stomped out of the Starbucks. I went up to the barista, and I said to her, "I got to learn to work on my fake cough, don't I?" Because he knew I was faking. Later that day, I went home and I talked to my husband, who, perhaps you didn't notice, he's a fine actor in that Shakespeare monologue that he did. Yay, Hugh. I told him the story and I said, "Hugh, teach me how to do a fake cough." And he did a fake cough, and I was about ready to call 911. I was like, I don't need to get that dramatic about it, just a simple fake cough. We still haven't had that lesson. We'll talk later, okay? But the point of that story is that the uses of adversity were actually kind of sweet in that, because I get to tell it as a funny story now. But the greatest teaching in that story, the greatest miracle in that story, was the miracle of not being at the effect of somebody's cause, right? He wanted me to feel as badly as he felt. He wanted to hurt me. He wanted to make me feel like I had done the most horrible thing in the world. And again, I'm not always that skilled at that, but for some reason this was so overt and so over the top that his insults to me just bounced right off of me, right? And that's a miracle for all of us that we can all find when, too early, go back. Too early, that we can all find when we are, when we're in a conflict with somebody. We do not have to be at the effect of their cause. We don't have to let their words hurt us, because the spiritual truth of that is that there is something within us that is unassailable. There is something within us that cannot be touched. That something within us is God. So we can't really change what people do, but we can certainly monitor our reactivity around it. And sometimes we do have to change what people do. Sometimes we do have to take action. If he had been more aggressive with me, I would have absolutely either run away or called the manager or called security or something. But sometimes we don't have to. Sometimes we can just know that whatever you say, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you, you little mamma mia, you stinker. Yeah, so there's that. And the thing is, too, is when we learn that we're not at the effect of other people's causes, we also can learn that we're not at the effect of life's cause. That's one of the miracles from this situation, too, this situation that was adverse but contained a miracle. We are not at the effect of life's cause. So that's why I threw up that picture of Kasturba Gandhi up there. Kasturba Gandhi is the wife of Gandhi, and she was arrested many, many times for peaceful protests when she was protesting injustice in India. And when she went to prison, somebody asked her, "How was prison?" And she said, "There is no prison. There is no prison." Because prison, lack of freedom, is a state of mind. So even when she was in prison, she was free. And the same thing can be true for us. No matter where we are free. We are free to be one with God because we already are, and to let all things flow from that sense of oneness. Same thing is true that's Viktor Frankl. The same thing is true for Viktor Frankl, who was imprisoned in a concentration camp. And surely the Nazis sought to break his body and his spirit, sought to kill him, sought to kill all of his relatives. And at some point he recognized that man's search for meaning, that all of life is an opportunity to find deeper meaning and to find deeper miracles in whatever happens. And through that experience, through that adverse experience, through that horrible experience, a miracle arose because he developed a whole philosophy around that helped many, many people over the years. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, to find the capacity to find peace in anything, to develop the art of knowing, okay, this is what it is. How can I be with this in a new, creative, wonderful way?" And our willingness to align with creativity, our willingness to align with wonder, our willingness to align with the miraculous attracts great things into our lives. We become that which we seek. You know, this is something that's really hard for us to remember. I was just writing about recently about how when I started on this path, I was trying to get singing and acting jobs, and I started a spiritual path, dang it, because I knew it would get me something. It would get me something from the out of the world. Forget about God. I just wanted, singing and acting jobs, right? So did all of this work, and then I realized that the real gift of spiritual work is this unconditional joy, this unconditional love, this unconditional peace that depends on nothing, that depends on no external circumstances being any way but what they are. Now, certainly, sometimes people are disturbed by being in love and in service to what is as it is, and so it is. It's not about pretending that you like it. You don't have to like it, but you can respond to whatever is in love, right? You can respond in love, which means sometimes making peace with it, or sometimes making peace with it and then finding the better yet to be. Because it is so much more effective to find the better yet to be if we were in a place of peace, if we were in a place of non-resistance, if we are in a place of saying, wow, this negative thing is happening, this contrast that is happening, to use the words of Esther Hicks, this thing that seems like it's against us, it is really for us. It is here to stimulate us into greater creativity and greater imagination and greater joy and greater peace and greater harmony. I cannot wait until I see what arises from this circumstance. And we say to ourselves, it's a miracle, hallelujah. Everybody, it's a miracle, hallelujah. Good job. That was great. Now, I started this talk speaking about when somebody didn't show up for church like I wanted them to. That's very first world problem, okay? It's not really such a big deal, particularly when you're Granny Clampett and you've been doing this for years, right? But there are sometimes really horrible things that happen, really difficult things that happen. And I've known many, many people in this center and beyond that have had simply awful things happen in their lives. So what do we do when something truly awful happens? Well, we say, I will watch and pray. I will watch and pray. I will breathe. And I will look for the sweetness in adversity. It may not be obvious at first. It may not be obvious for a while. But we look for the sweetness and we open our hearts to the possibility that there is sweetness in that adversity. Or we turn to the words of Parker Palmer, who is a Quaker, and he said that there is a hidden wholeness in everything. Or we turn to the words of Ernest Holmes, who said, there is nothing to be healed, only wholeness to be revealed. Only wholeness to be revealed in all things. There is a hidden wholeness that is waiting to be revealed in all things. Or, this one's the hardest one for me, we cultivate patience. Patience. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not quite familiar with that term. Can anybody explain what that means to me? Patient. Yeah, not afraid not? Oh, explain it right now. No, you explain it right now. Yeah, I get it. I get the joke, though. Explain it right now. He was demonstrating the opposite of patience, wasn't he? Yes. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Yeah. So all of those things. Watch and pray. Look for the hidden wholeness in everything. Recognize that there is nothing to be healed. We don't have to manipulate things. We just reveal the wholeness, and then the universe takes care of what it is supposed to do, and we get to take care of what we are supposed to do. and we cultivate patience in the process. One fantastic way to cultivate patience in the process is to recognize that the joy is in the journey, right? The joy is in the journey. The end point is not the prize, the process is the prize. It's so interesting to look for that in our lives and see how that really plays out, because when we start to look for that, we start to see it, because we see what we believe. Yeah, we don't believe what we see. Wait, I do this wrong every time. We see what we believe. We see what we believe. I did do it right that time. Okay, good. All right. Speaking of really difficult things that have happened, today a bunch of us are going over to the Sikh Gurdwara, and one of the reasons that we became friends with the local Gurdwara, the Gurdwara is like the Sikh temple, and Sikhism is a religion. It's a religion that is oddly like this, where they believe that truth is everything and that we don't bow down to a supreme being, but we bow to truth, right? We support truth, and we support devotion and service and all of those things. But we befriended the folks in the Sikh Gurdwara of Ventura, which is right up the street from us. We befriended them because of a challenging incident that happened, where there was a bombing of a FedEx office that was owned by a Sikh family. And, since 9/11, a lot of the Sikh folks in the United States have been having a harder time than many of us. 9/11 was truly awful. But a lot of the Sikh folks have been experiencing more of a hardship because they wear turbans. And when people see somebody wearing a turban, they may think that they're a Muslim. And when they see that they are a Muslim, they automatically think that they're a terrorist. Now, my husband and I, of course, have talked about this, and he pointed out just so innocently, why would somebody think that somebody in a turban is a Muslim, and why would somebody automatically assume that somebody who's a Muslim is a terrorist? Well, it happens. And the Sikh folks have been struggling with that since 9/11, a long time ago, but for a long time they have been struggling with that. People confusing them with Muslim terrorists, which sounds even too ridiculous to say out loud, but that's what the situation is. And one of the things that we do in this center is that we reach out. We reach out to assist and to offer solidarity and friendship to those who are struggling. In general, we're not, at least I'm not a big fist shaker at the people that are wrong, but I tend to try and reach out to the people that need companionship and friendship. And so we made a donation to the Sikh Gurdwara, and that became the start of a miracle. Perhaps the miracle started in the university, but the miracle continued as we created a relationship with the Sikh folks in Ventura who were struggling just like any Sikh folks any place in the country. They came to our center, and the lead singer sang, and now we're going to their center, and a bunch of other churches and Rabbi Lisa are coming. And so there's this beautiful friendship that grew out of all of that. And so we're giving it time, we're giving it patience. One of the miracles in that is that it teaches us to look at our assumptions. The comment Hugh made about why would somebody think that somebody in a turban is a Muslim, and why would somebody think that a Muslim is automatically a terrorist? So if there are any assumptions that we're carrying about other people, it gives us a chance to look at that. Also, back to 9/11, it was hard to find the miracle in that. But there were some miracles. A rabbi wrote that God is in the rubble. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, his mother told him, and he told us, always look for the helpers. And verily I say unto you, as Reverend Bonnie Rose, we can look for the helpers, but it's even better when we become the helpers, when we reach out in kindness. More sweetness in adversity. Something truly unspeakable happens, and we become the helpers. We become the ones that are willing to look for the good, to offer compassion, and to recognize, once again, to quote Ernest Holmes, that there is nothing to be healed, only wholeness to be revealed. So in your personal life, again, just reflect. Are you willing to open to a hidden wholeness? Think about that situation you thought of when we first started. Are you Are you willing to even start opening, to just hold the question, is there a hidden wholeness in this that is waiting to be revealed? And can you cultivate trust and patience that the answer is there? God is all possibility. God is everywhere. If God is anywhere, then God is everywhere. God is in the rubble. And again, if God is anywhere, then God is everywhere. One more thing. You may have noticed that we've gone through a pandemic. And this was a picture of the church. It actually wasn't taken during the pandemic, but this is what the church looked like during the pandemic. Completely empty. Except for I think we were allowed to gather 10 people to put on the service. And so except for the 10 of us, the church was completely empty. And it was discouraging. It was hard. It was challenging. We wondered, will the church ever come back? Will this undo us? And yet, with a little faith, with a little persistence, with divine leadership from our great board and from our volunteers, with the devotion of the congregation that watched online, with the devotion of the congregation that showed up once we started opening, with the devotion of all of you, with those of you who invite your friends and the new people are coming in, we know that we're doing it. Post-COVID, fear told us to be afraid. Faith told us that the uses of adversity are sweet. And so love tells us that we enter into the miracle now and we live like the truth is true because it is. When we're experiencing insufficiency, whether it's insufficiency in church or finances or love or anything else, we enter into sufficiency while it is still insufficiency. When we are experiencing illness, we enter into the allness, even when it still feels like an illness. We trust that there is something greater than what is going on, and then we live like it is true. We act as if. I'm going to end with a quote. This is from a Jewish commentary, and it says, "Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we go, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay, touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it." Always, no matter what is going on, how filled with awe is this place. I want to change one line of that. I completely respect the writer who wrote that, but I would prefer to say, how filled with awe is this place? What a privilege it is to see it. What a privilege it is to be it. And then together let us say, I am open to receive all of love's miracles. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Lonnie G. How you doing, kiddo? You busy back there?
Okay, so there's a dark gray RAV4 in the parking lot to the side that we really need you to move your car. So does that ring any bells?
Oh,
okay, I'll
okay.
walk out with you. So.
Oh, I'll take it away.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so this is our time of offering, and I invite you to take your gift out and hold it over your heart, and just repeat after me. Oh, I forgot to pray. Okay, we'll do the offering first, and then I'll pray. Take your gift out and hold it over your heart, and just trust and know that this gift is part of the miracle. That there is one life that is God's life. That life is our life now. That life is perfect. And that miracles are unfolding everywhere. Everywhere we look, everywhere we are. And so we open to receive the miracles. And we open to be the miracles. And we open to become the miracles. And we open to share the miracles and to celebrate it. And so in this time of sacred sharing, let us repeat after me. We trust in spirit. Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are. We offer our gift. It is an outer expression of our inner abundance. Our gifts bless many and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways, so that we may give again. And so I give thanks for this time together. I bless all paths to God. I bless this teaching. I bless temples, synagogues, mosques, ashrams, gurdwaras, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics, anybody I forgot to name, for everyone is a blessing. And with a heart so filled with blessedness, I say thank you, Spirit, thank you, love. And I release these words into the divine mystery as we move into our time of offering. And so it is. Namaste.
What a beautiful sermon. Wow, powerful. To pray is a miracle. To allow God's breath, which is the life of the Spirit, the good of the Spirit, to breathe through us without even thinking about it, it just does it, is a miracle. God is good every day. Lord, let me trust and build my faith to walk with you in every way. Open my eyes to see God's face. One dark night my soul cried. Mama, she wiped my weeping eyes. She rocked me back and forth and said, open your eyes to see God's grace. Don't forget about your life. No, it'll guide you through the darkest night. And don't forget about love. Whatever you do, stay prayed up. Thankful for dreams, for everything. Yeah. Sunshine or rain, let your heart sing. Every day let your soundtrack play. Love symphony, then celebrate. So play and pray, yeah. John, well, she said, don't forget about your life. No, it'll guide you through the darkest night. And don't forget about love. Whatever you do, stay prayed up. And listen, there'll be times when you are tested to stand in the truth. Just know that you can rest in God's grace to see you through. To him that's given, more is required. Of pearl, a great price to pay. When you heed the soul's desire, God'll make a way out of no way. Hey, don't forget about your life. No, it'll guide you through the darkest night, yeah. And don't forget about love. Whatever you do, stay prayed up. Hey, yeah, stay prayed up. Pray to be an emissary of love, yeah. Pray be the first to forgive. Pray to be in miracle consciousness. Stay, pray, stay, pray. Pray, every day. Stay prayed. The wonderful Chris. He's so smooth. He's so smooth. And John, all right on that sax. Thank you.
The flowers are dedicated to Jen Luce, who isn't here today. Happy 5th anniversary to the best person and mother I know. Love, Greg. So sweet. So sweet. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we've got ambassadors here. They're standing at the door. Any ambassadors want to stand up and let yourselves be seen? Rhina, yay, and Jeanette back there, and Kim, wonderful. Ambassadors are here to help you find your way, help you navigate, answer any questions you might have about the center. Today we're doing the field trip to the Gurdwara, the Sikh Gurdwara, and if you haven't signed up, you can still come. Just find somebody, they'll point you in the right direction. It starts at about noon, and we're asking people to come around noon because there's a few things, like you need a head covering, you need to take off your shoes, like that, okay? There is a wonderful membership class coming up. It's on October 16th, and it's 11:30 to 12:30. It's really more of a meeting, an inspirational meeting where you can come in and learn a little bit about the church. You don't have to sign up or anything. You just come and find out about the church to see if this maybe feels like a good fit for you. Okay? Red Cross Blood Drive is happening October 18th. We partner with the Red Cross, and that's downstairs in Martha's Hall. There's information about how to sign up for that. You can't just walk in and have them take your blood. You got to sign up for it, okay? Expect a Miracle is a class facilitated by Kim Bryson. We'll be hearing more about that later, but it's 5 Mondays, and it starts November 7th, and you learn to live a life with no limitations, and Kim is a fantastic teacher. Yes. And then outreach. We're still doing our outreach opportunities, family to family, lift up your voice, help homeless people. And then food share. We're gathering non-perishable items for October, and flyers with a list of preferred foods are available at the concierge desk, which is through that door right there in our social hall. Choir rehearsal for today is going to start a little early, so people can go to the Gurdwara if they want. It's at 11:15, and it's downstairs in Stanley's Hall. No, Martha's Hall. I got my Stanley and my Martha mixed up. It hardly ever happens. Okay. All righty. Let's see what else. After service options, if you go through that door or through that door, you will find a host of after-service options. There's T-shirts, and there's books, and there's free puzzles, and there's jewelry. No, there's not jewelry anymore. Well, there's some jewelry. But anyway, we've got artwork from our beloved Fred Mondragon, and one of the best things you can do after service is to come down here and stand around here, and you'll see some practitioners wearing white stoles, and they can pray for you. Anything that you reflected on during the service, or anything that came up for you, or anything that's going on in your life, you will be amazed at what the power of prayer, staying prayed up, can do for you. So come on and enjoy that. And then if you're watching at home, or if you're just wandering around Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, go ahead and share our information. We'd love to spread this word and invite more people to be part of the miracle that's happening here. It's been so great to see you, and I'll do a quick prayer, and then we will go our separate ways until next time. And so turning within, let us just breathe and relax into this sacred moment, into this knowing, into this trust of the divine love that lives and moves and has its perfect being in each of us. It is here right now in every one of us, and it stays with us always. So we open our eyes. We walk in miracles, in full and conscious awareness of the miracle of living and the miracle of breathing and the miracle of praying, all of these things and so much more. I trust that this time together has been good and enlightening, and that it has raised questions and answers, for both are equally perfect in the heart and mind and being of God. I also trust that these words ripple, that this time together ripples, that the strength of the community ripples, and that more and more people come to know love and come to know the divine within them. I'm so grateful for everyone that is here today, everyone bringing their gifts, whether they said anything or whether they meet anybody or whether they are sitting in the seats, that everybody brings their consciousness, which is a special gift to this sacred circle and this sacred community that we form together. I'm just so living in joyous anticipation to see what can be done through all of these collective hearts and minds, choosing to have an impact on the world of good and choosing to be the helpers and choosing to love one another and choosing to spread the word through our kindness and through our intentions. And so with a heart that is so filled with gratitude and so filled with love, I give thanks for this sacred time together, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is.